Okay, so just going to go for a quick walk. I need to check out the hotel in about 20 minutes or so to make it to my train, which is annoyingly 2 hours earlier than I was planned to be. Just because of all the train works, there's a lot of replacement rail services on and a lot less trains than I was expecting. So yeah, slightly more of a time crunch this morning, but that's okay. So I thought a little quick walk along the Riverside here. As you can see, there is a ZZ's. I thought it was a ZZ's. A Fuego Tapo Grill, a Wagamama, lots of apartments here. There's bars and lounges and all that kind of stuff. So it's actually a pretty nice place to visit. And a nice place to stay. So I've stayed in this particular Premier Inn a few times. So I've gotten somewhat familiar with walking around here, and I really do like this area. So if I remember correctly, and forgive me if I've either pronounced it wrong or gotten it wrong, because I haven't bothered to Google it, but I think this is the River Owls. Yes, there's a lot of rowing along this river. So pretty much every day you come out here, you see people rowing. It's pretty cool. This is also, I think I mentioned this in my room review video, a really nice route for running. It's pretty flat, so it's not a heavy workout, but you know, if you want a nice gentle run, it's actually a pretty good place for it. Like I say, this is going to be a very quick walk because I do not have a lot of time. You can see the Premier Inn over there. So yeah, it's a nice little park. Is it a park? I guess it's a park. And it runs all along the Riverside. So it's a really nice area to visit and walk, and it's quite chill. It doesn't have the hustle and bustle and all of that of London, but you're only about 45 minutes on a train from London, and it is incredibly cheap compared to London, certainly at the moment, to stay here. I paid the same for 2 nights I would have paid for, well, yeah, I'm coming back in 2 weeks, and I paid the same for about, I think, 3 nights here as I would have paid for 1 night in London, and even factoring in the travel costs of the train to and from London to Bedford, it was definitely worth staying here. So I'm going to have about 4 nights here in a couple of weeks. One of those days I'm going to do a day trip into London. So actually this depends on your perspective. I feel like this is actually a pretty good place to stay and commute and visit London for trips. But opinions probably vary. If you're looking for a London experience, you're certainly not going to get it in Bedford. I'm not sure I'd call it a sleepy town, but squirrel! Lots of squirrels, and they're actually pretty friendly here. But yeah, I quite like Bedford. Like everywhere, it has its good and bad areas. I think we tend to focus on the bad areas in a lot of places and ignore the good, but Bedford is a nice town, and I do like visiting here. So I'm just going to check my time. Okay, circle back around. That's Bedford College over there, I believe. Maybe it's over there. I guess that's an annex of Bedford College there. And Bedford College is there, so... But yeah, again, that's the Premier Inn. I stayed in the last 2 nights over there. There's a View Cinema right beside it as well, a Miller and Carter Steakhouse. Loads of places to eat. It is a nice place to visit. Weather is pleasant today. It's not super warm, but it's sunny. A little bit of a cool breeze. You can tell winter's over. I say winter's over, I mean we're well into spring now, I guess, but yeah. This is just a very quick walk around. I am aware I'm probably repeating myself. I am a very repetitive person, but yeah, there's the hotel, the View Cinema. So, you know, dinner, movie, nice hotel stay. It's a pretty good place to stay. And again, if you wanted to stay here for a few nights, commute into London for a day, stuff like that, it is not too bothersome. Unless it's right now when half the trains are cancelled, not available, there's rail replacement buses on, and you have to get into London for a 2 o'clock train home, which is, yeah, kind of inconvenient. What's normally a 45-minute to an hour ride is going to be about 2 hours, and I'm having to leave considerably earlier to make sure I get there because of other services cancelled or not available to buy, so that is kind of irritating. But that is not the fault of Bedford. British Rail or whoever is responsible. Ho-hum. Anyway, enough whinging, because it's been a good weekend. I've had fun, seen some friends, did a bit of acting, ate some nice food, had a couple of drinks. Okay, I had one drink, alcoholic drink. It was very nice. Caught up with people I haven't seen for a while, had some laughs, shared some double entendres, and basically had a nice time. So I would like to go further along, but I really, don't have the time. Maybe walk a little bit along. So I don't know what that building there is, and I should, because I have walked past it before, but So one of the things that's always very apparent to me when I come south of the border, and certainly to the south, is definitely noticed the architectural changes between Scotland and England, and I am not anything kind of knowledgeable person about such things, but you do notice a change in style, certainly on the older buildings. There's just a certain look to that English architectural style. I don't know if it's Victorian or whatever. Don't ask me, I am not a historian, an historian even. Oh, well, that was delightful. Oh, someone's obviously throwing their sugars everywhere. Just having a little bit more of a walk around. I'm going to have to head back to the hotel in a few minutes. Old Town Hall. Let's have a look at that. Built before 1550, it's Bedford's first grammar school. Endowed by Sir William Harper in 1566, refaced in 1767 in Georgian style by Isaac Clayson. School Hall, now Civic Theatre, added in 1859 to 61, became the Town Hall in 1892. Yeah. I certainly, when I'm anywhere, love to wander around places. I mean, I walk a lot, and I like to walk, and I like to see people. Oh, now, that's where the I wonder if I can get across there. Do I have time to get across there? Maybe just. So I'm very, very quickly going to run over here because so I don't know how many people watching this are aware of the band leader, musician Glenn Miller, who disappeared during World War II. There's lots of conspiracy theories and speculation about what happened to him, but his plane was probably shot down by somebody. Is likely he was on a plane that disappeared. However, there is, if I remember correctly, yes, there is. There it is. There it is. So there is so there is a little memorial here to Glenn Miller. BBC in World War II Bedford, 1940 to 45, one of 7 radio production venues in a town from which 8,000 somewhere in England broadcasts were made. And that is a bust of Glenn Miller, and there is a sign there, so it's difficult to see, but in celebration of Glenn Miller, 1/3/1904 to 15/12/1944, and his concerts at the Corn Exchange Lombard Hall. His unveiled by his worship Mayor Councillor Derek A. Jones, 15th December 1994, Glenn Miller 50th Anniversaries Festival, 1944 to 1994. So Miller played here. So there is a memorial to him, which is kind of cool. This exchange was opened April 15th. I am not going to try and read the Latin dates there, sorry. By the most noble Francis Charles Hastings, 9th Duke of Bedford, George Hurst, J.P. Mayor. Yeah, I'm not going to try and read that. Okay, so yeah, time to head back to the hotel and check out. Okie dokie. So we are almost back to the hotel. A relatively leisurely walk. I think it takes me about 10 minutes to walk to the train station from the hotel, so I should have plenty of time. My train's at 9:46 and it's currently 9:09. I should be fine. I would like to walk around a bit more, but oh well. Them's the breaks. Yes, my plan originally was to get a train to London at 12 o'clock. Get into London about 1. Have a little bit of time to bumble about before my train. Alas, that plan has gone out the window. But if everything works to plan, I should get into London about 12. So I'll have a couple of hours to bumble around with my luggage in London. Fortunately, I don't have a lot of luggage. As is always the case, I end up bringing multiple costumes for these shoots in Bedford. I don't imagine anybody that watches this doesn't know, because I've only got about 50 subscribers, but yeah, I make Star Trek fan films, I make my own, I work on Sam Cocking's Trek shorts, so those are the kind of costumes we're talking about, not gimp suits, before anybody jumps in and suggests otherwise. And if you're into gimp suits, that's cool, that's your thing. That's okay. No judgment from me. We are all different, we're all individuals, and we all like our own things. But I'm not into gimp suits, sorry. Okay, being slightly facetious here, but hey ho. Okay, so as I mentioned, Miller & Carter Steakhouse just here. Riverside, Bedford, so there's a little map there with all stuff on it. You can have a wee look at, pause that and have a wee look if you're interested. Yeah. Miller & Carter Steakhouse. I've been to a Miller & Carter once. It is not cheap. And I'm also not a steak person. Pretty sure I had chicken if I remember rightly. But I did enjoy it. It was very good. My friend did slag the shit out of me for having chicken in a steakhouse, but hey ho. Okay, so that's pretty much it. There's the View Cinema, olive tree, and we are back where we started, at the Premier Inn. Okay, so that is us.